a big HGSA welcome. It's Elliott Wallis. Grab your mic, young man. Elliott, welcome along. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Giants. How are you finding it so far?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's a good group of lads, so I am settled in very nicely.
Good. What was your expectations of the club before you joined? Were they quite high? And being coached by Watto and Browning, stuff like that.
Originally I didn't know too much about the club, and then instantly when I spoke to Watto, I knew that this was a club that I wanted to be at. His views and how he saw sort of the future of the club was exactly what I wanted for myself. Just like hard work and just really trying to sort of get the most out of us. And he already had sort of big plans for me, and big plans for the club.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just fitted nicely.
Did he tell you what the process was?
He basically, the first thing that he did when he spoke to me was just he sort of picked me apart a bit really, and told me that the areas of things that I need to work on, and it was stuff that I already knew that I needed to work on. So that was just it was instantly a green light for me really.
Mm-hmm. What's the one thing that stands out to you about this coaching compared to the coaching you've had? Is there anything that's improved on your game so far already?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely my defence. The thing with Watto is, you think you've cracked it, and then there's something else. He's just constantly tweaking you. I think there was times at Castleford, and it was just like I'd be going to the coach and saying, "Oh, what do I need to do?" And it'd be like, "Oh, you just need to keep doing what you're doing, mate." And for me, that wasn't enough, really. With Watto, I don't even get a chance to go to him. He's already grabbed me and told me, 5 things that I need to work on. And I'm thinking, bloody hell.
So you mentioned Castleford. So how did the move come about to Huddersfield? Because you'd established yourself in the first team at Cass last year, hadn't you?
Well, I've actually recently found out more information about this really. So someone pulled me at the gym the other day, and I'd played, I think when I just started playing reserve grade again for Castleford, I came down here and I had a pretty good game. So I think they've been keen on trying to get hold of me for years, but never really found me. So then I broke into Castleford first team. And then again, they tried to get me mid-season, and Andy Lass said no. And then by the time Andy Lass went, I think they tried to get the foot back in the door again, and it just sort of, I think my time at Castleford felt like it was coming to a close already, and that just it was a good deal for both sides really. I think for me to I've only had one season in Super League. This is a great place for me to come and grow, and it was a great swap for Castleford because it was some good business. I think they made a bit of money on someone who's come from nowhere really. Yeah. It was just on the off chance playing for the reserve grade, and then they've got a player within that deal, so it just sort of aligned really for both of us, and I think it's worked out well.
So there was no danger of you turning down Huddersfield?
No.
Even though, I'm presuming Watto couldn't guarantee you first team rugby like you were having at Cass.
Yeah, no. I was keen on coming and working hard and backing myself really. I believe a bit of self-belief in that sense.
So you're a Hull lad, as we can tell by your accent. You came through the joint academy, didn't you, at Hull? Signed for Hull Car, made your debut for them. Obviously you got released by Hull Car. Was that hard being a local lad? To have to go and find another club away from your home?
Yeah, it was a really tough one for me because I was so young and so inexperienced in so many areas. I'd never had a normal job or anything like that. I'd just come through the rugby system. So it really did, it played on my mind a bit really. I had to go away from rugby, so I went and did, I think I was boxing for a couple of years. I turned away from it. Lockdown hit, and I started maybe doing things that you probably shouldn't be doing, sort of going out into being a bit of leading a normal life. And then it just wasn't for me. I started thinking I can't be doing this. I started training again. I was fortunate enough to be able to access gyms during lockdown. Actually, I don't know what people's views are on that, but I did.
Not saying anything.
And then
for us to judge.
I got invited to a boxing gym because someone sort of saw my talents, just working with my mate in there. Started doing that. Got a job at the boxing gym after various other jobs that I hated. So I was working in a food bank. I was tutoring I don't know, naughty children, kids that got kicked out of school, and I think it just taught me a bit of patience, and taught me a bit more about life, really, which then led me to getting in touch with Castleford. I thought, right, I can't waste this opportunity, and I think by then I was 22, so I thought, right, get in touch with them, and they let me have a go in the reserves. So I played one game, and then that was it. It was a great contract, and then it all just seemed to start falling into place. And I realised, there was a bit of actual hard work. I can really go and have a crack at this.
So quite good at rugby then.
Yeah.
So have you always played rugby league? Is it?
Yeah, 6 years old. I've played rugby since. A long time.
Obviously, you come to Huddersfield. Relatively unknown. I think most people will admit, they didn't really know much about you when we signed you. Probably saw you as a long-term project for the club, but you actually started the first 3 games, scored 2 tries, including your debut at Laund, then you've not featured since. Is that is there a reason why you injured? Or?
Yeah, so it is actually an injury that I've had before. I don't know if it's due. What they call it is a stress response. So it's like a bruise on the bone of my ankle, which I probably neglected a bit when I was at OKR when I was younger. So it led to a stress fracture, which I didn't want to happen again this time. So it's just been a case of 4 weeks, and then there was a lot of weaknesses that were found around the ankle. So I think it's been a great opportunity to then to strengthen that.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, you played as a winger. Is that your main position, or do you play other positions?
Not for a long time. I've been a winger for a long time. When I was younger, I was a fullback and a centre. Them positions are quite attractive to me, but I think at this club there's a lot of depth in positions, and I can't see that really being something that I can see myself doing anytime soon. So
I mean, obviously, the closest we brought in Adam Swift as well. Was he signed before or after you, and did that sort of make you think your chances might be a bit more limited?
I think he did sign before me. It's not something that would cross my mind. I would back myself to try and be the top winger in the club. But maybe not yet. But that's just my goals. That's just how I think. I don't think someone's going to keep me out of my job. I want to eat.
So when you are in the team, obviously, if it kicks off in the corner, we've got a box to fight its corner there.
yeah, I try to avoid that.
Obviously, you've settled into the club. Do you have people within the club from your other clubs, or are they just all completely new guys to you?
I don't think I knew anyone, but it was a strange one because I felt comfortable with the lads from day one. Really, when I played against Huddersfield, it was a bit of I probably me and Leroy was at each other a bit, and I think it sort of makes you a bit more tight knitted when you've had a bit of that on the pitch. Yeah.
Picking on the old man.
Jake's from Hull, and a few lads have played from Hull, so I think you get a bit of a connection through that, really.
So we always ask this question to us guests: what's it like playing with Jake Connor? Is he as bad as what everybody makes out?
Worse, much worse.
Do you want to give us some examples?
It's just I don't know if there'll be anyone that's ever gamed in here. Probably not. I would describe it as being in like a Call of Duty lobby, but I don't think anyone would understand that.
Looking around, I don't think so.
No, they haven't.
Yeah, maybe at the back. Obviously, within the club, then do you have your own little groups? I know this was something under previous coaches where they like to have players mingling with separate groups to get a bond.
We did. So in pre-season, we had a bit of a forwards and back split. I think that was just for the size of the group, really. Just going out, maybe go out, play a bit of bowling or just a bit of food or something like that. But no, other than that, I think the group's pretty tight knitted. There doesn't seem to be many cliques. There's people that get on better with other people, but we are, pretty much a group.